hello. Uh, this is different. This is new, but I'm here to capitalize on something that recently came out. As everyone knows, Cuties, top tier movie, might I add. Everyone's been talking about it. There's been no one who hasn't been talking about what this monstrosity is. And I'm here to be honest with you. It's pretty bad. So we're gonna start off from the beginning. I met up with my friend and we watched Killer Clowns in Space, from space. It was good. I'd give it a solid 7. I thought it was stupid funny. After we watched that, I was like, you know what? I want to see what everyone's talking about. I want to make sure I know exactly what they mean, because I've watched lots of reviews about it. You know, Criticals, Shoe on Head, just to name like 2. Yeah, they have points, but I want to be very specific in the details, because there are points in the movie where I don't understand. Like, they didn't explain it, and it's bad. So let's begin from the beginning, yeah? So to begin everything, as soon as the movie started, and I realized it was an English dub, I changed it right to German, and right away it made everything better. It was dealable. I could actually deal with what I was being given, if you get what I mean. My hand's flipping out. Because it was in German. If it wasn't in German, I don't think I would have been able to last the entire hour in, 30 minutes? God, it was terrible. Little girl lives in a Muslim conservative household, being told she needs to do, needs to dress this way, needs to act this way, also obviously getting sick of it. And remember, 11. She goes to go to the dryer for some reason during this prayer. She leaves. It was afterwards. She leaves, goes to this dryer, and she sees I don't even know what their names are. I remember Ami is the main character. One of the glasses looks like Randall's sidekick from Monsters Inc. So I'm just gonna call her Monsters Inc. So Monsters Inc. sees her, Ami runs away, and then later that night she decides to curl her hair or straighten her hair, like Monsters Inc. was doing. And then she goes to school the next day. Literally, I'm just telling you the most notable parts of each time, because if I went through everything, I watched it yesterday and I can barely remember half of it besides the close-up shots. It haunts me. So the next day she goes to school and she sees that all of these classmates are standing still. She looks at them, and this little kid's walking around videotaping the Cuties. They get brought into the main office. These things don't stop moving, and I really don't want to use a League of Legends character, so I apologize, but I'm not paying someone to make an avatar for me, and this is the only one I could find that I'm using. Oh well. He just brought to the principal's office and realized that they had a phone, but she didn't. So later that day, she goes home and she's asked to get a phone out. Not a phone, get like a purse out from the front of the car that she's bringing stuff out of. She goes there, grabs the purse, also grabs his phone, steals it, and then starts her own Instagram page. Somehow knowing what Instagram is, I don't know. They are middle schoolers, but you'd think that she was in a conservative household and doesn't have friends yet, she wouldn't know what it was. Beats me. But yeah, she puts on she goes to the moon. She gets close to the window and takes a photo of herself. She decides to put it on. She uses some app that gives her makeup and puts it on there. It gets 1 like. And so the next day, oh no, I forgot an important part. Right before she does this, she's walking with her brothers. I think it's actually after. It's the next day, and it's in between. They don't really show anything. She's walking with her brothers, right? And Ami, I'm talking about, goes over the edge to see the Cuties practicing or whatever they do, and she decides to look over, and they start yelling at her and throw a rock at her head for whatever reason. Then she goes home and then does the whole VFX makeup thing. Or maybe that's the next day, I don't know. So the next day she goes up to the Cuties and they're like, oh yeah, that's where I hit you on the head, blah blah blah. And they're like, you know what you can do? You can go into the boys' bathroom and you can take a photo or a video of this guy's dick. 11 years old, by the way. Go take a picture of his dick. Obviously, she fails. Her fingers in front of the camera the entire time. Why? What is the point? They have families. They're taught values. But yet you're going to have them be so... It just doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, the next day, long story short, she gets brought to videotape them, right? And I would see if it's the kid's videotaping, right? And she's standing far back. But then you don't see it from her perspective. You see it from the videographer's perspective, and he's literally inside of their asses while they're dancing. It's just every shot of them dancing is so unneedingly sexual. It's so annoying. Besides that, she takes the video. It looks good for them. She goes home and she practices in her bathroom. Something happens between Monsters Inc. and like the bigger girl of the group. Oh, so they're trying to get more dick pics, but this time they're doing it online. And so what happens is they go onto this computer, they're video chatting, but they don't have the video camera on. And he's like, turn on your microphone, turn on your camera. And you're like, no, 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 no. What do you think about tatas? And like, they think that, fuck it. They think that he's like blushing or whatever. And then the bigger girl, we'll call Vanessa because I don't remember her name. Vanessa turns on the camera when it's on Monsters Inc. And he's like, ew, get out of here, and leaves. This irritates Monsters Inc. and gets unnecessarily angry at her. So there's that. They end up fighting like the next day at school. God, there's just so much shit that happens that makes no sense. It's just like, we need to produce the plot line. This happens, this time, that happens. Just because. They fight, then Ami says that she can dance after they kick Vanessa out. And they're like, okay. And then it's another very sexual dance routine. And mind you, this is about the time where everything gets bad. Like when she gets invited, that's when everything goes downhill. The movie I can understand up till about the 40-minute mark. And then everything just goes. Mind you, the movie already, since I've seen all the reviews, I had a very bad taste in my mouth, right? It got worse. Seeing it, it was worse. They decide to watch. Okay, let me preface this. Everyone in the movie that isn't an adult is at most in high school. After their dance routine, they go up somewhere. They're on the stairs, I think. And they're watching this dance group called the Sweetie Swags or something, some bullshit name that's dumb. They decide to watch it. And they're twerking and all this other stuff. They're obviously much older than the girls who are 11, but I don't think they're quite legal yet. One of the girls, I think it's the redheaded girl in the group, decides to lift up her shirt and show her nipple. I pray that they canonically make her 18, but I'm sure as hell that she wasn't. I saw kid tits. You can't make that up. I'm really sad. I had to go back and look. Because I heard that there was tits in the movie, right? And Sean had made a point. It was like, oh, I thought they were kids, and I thought it was. I thought it was an adult. Then later in the movie, you see that they're actually in high school. That group, Sweetie Swags or whatever, is in high school. Fuck. Ami decides to look up like this, like how to twerk, because they're 11. They don't have an ass. None of them do. It's disgusting how they shoot this fucking film. So she learns to do all this stuff, and then she teaches them. They're like, oh yeah, okay. And it's an entire 2-minute montage of them on the floor grinding on each other. Yeah, this face, these hands can't show you the anger, the disgust that I actually felt when I watched this. I can sound calm right now, but this movie is disgusting. So obviously we're way past the 40-minute mark, and they have their... Oh, I missed the part. I missed the part where they went into this laser tag place for no reason at all and messed around and were annoying little kids. They got taken out, and then this one guy was trying to tell them get out or give them the parents' phone number. And then this other guy comes in who looks like a complete pedophile. And he's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I'm not a pedophile. These girls are calling me a pedophile, and I'm not. Lo and behold, the other guy was a pedophile. And they're like, oh, we can dance. We have a dance competition, watch. And they all start showing their bodies to these adults. Yikes. And they let them go. They let them go. I wish the movie could have changed to them being brought home and yelled at for what they're doing. That'd been fantastic. I would have loved that movie then. Just like straight up, gone, done. 40 minutes in, boom, let go. Ami has her period at some point. Tries to get, not tries, but her mom tries to get her fixed by you doing an exorcism on her. And while the exorcism is going, she's twerking. They literally throw water on her in a very low shirt while she's twerking. So anyways, as we continue on this road, remember, they're 11. And so now Ami's very confident in herself. She's like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna dress provocatively during school. And like all the guys notice her and shit. And it's just, even like these like complete adults, like 18-year-old kids are like, ooh, she's so hot. Bro, what? No. Okay. So what happens is that she's dressing up provocatively now. She wears like a crop top that like emphasizes her small ass tits. And what she does is they see the sweetie swags, and Ami, what does she do? She runs over to him, pulls the hair. Well, because they throw a bottle at them, a single bottle. Runs over to one of the girls, grabs her hair, and tears it around. The other girls jump in, and then her pants get pulled down. You get to see Ami's underwear. It's just so fucking stupid. The director's an idiot. Or whoever was truly in control of this movie is an idiot. Needs to be jailed. The parents that wanted their kids to be in this movie, jail. They end up having a twerking competition on the stairs too. At some point, I don't remember where it was. And that's where you see all these people bringing up like the video of all these girls like just rubbing their little poons, and I hate thinking about it, but I had to like say something after completely watching the movie. And I don't know if people actually have like gone through and actually said everything. Most of the people I've watched haven't said everything. And I'm trying to put out the most notable spots. The notable spot I forgot about before the ending is when the guy sees his phone stolen by her. What she does is she steals it back. She tries to seduce him first. She tries to twerk in front of him and like do like in quotes sexy things in front of him, and he says, "What the hell are you doing?" Pushes her to the side, and she runs, bites his hand, takes his phone, goes into the bathroom, pulls down her pants, and takes a photo of her hoo-ha. You can't make this up. You can't make it up. And puts it on her Instagram and sends it to her. And then she opens the door, throws her phone back out, shuts and locks it. Why? What the fuck is the point of that? There is none. There's actually no fucking point. It makes... Oh my fucking god. It's so stupid. The movie is stupid. So, follows as she gets her ass slapped in class. Like, oh, she got her nude sent online. She's already a whore. And so, she grabs a pen, I think it's a pen, and stabs him in the hand with it. Nothing happens. Nothing bad happens to the main character. There's no repercussions for anything she's done. That's what's most notable throughout the movie, besides the sexualization of minors, is that nothing happens, nothing bad happens to these characters out there that have done some bad shit. And so she fails to show up to the audition and is kicked out of the Cuties. And before she goes to her mom's husband's new wedding, she runs off. She runs off and she waits on the stairs, or near the stairs, for Vanessa, remember the bigger girl, Vanessa, to come through. She tries to kill her. People say this, and I was like, there's no way. She, for no reason, I'm pretty sure it was Vanessa at least, but it didn't look like her in the video. Like in the movie, it doesn't look like the bigger girl. She straight up pushes her into the river. She can't swim, so she watches her. And this is a 1 minute scene where she just pushes her, watches her struggle in the river until she grabs onto the dinghy, and then, jokes aside, and Ami leaves and goes to the final part. This is where you think it makes no sense. It just makes even less sense. So what happens is she goes over to the podium, gets there. She's like, Vanessa can't make it, and they're like, okay, you're a better dancer anyways. So they bring her on. They're doing this sexual dance, obviously. Super close-ups of everything. She decides to stop in the middle of it, cry, and run away. Because she saw these, like, golden flakes fall from her hair that she tripped on earlier. And she knocked off the thingy and tripped on them, and they got in her hair. And then she ran and went back home. And she undressed, not like publicly, but she gets dressed into normal clothes instead of those skimpy clothes that should not be worn by 11-year-olds or anyone really. And then she jumps on the trampoline. She jump ropes for about 2 minutes, and that's the end. She jumps, gets higher and higher, and she jumps up 2 stories high while jump roping. Obviously, it's meant to be like, oh, she gets a higher sense of herself. No, everyone who had part in making this or putting it out to the public needs to be put on a watch list. And I'm gonna go on a little tangent for a second. Since I reviewed the movie, I told you all the big parts. I don't even think that kind of dancing is sexy either. And that's just me. The whole like hitting your vagina on the floor, twerking, that doesn't work. For me, at least. I find that shit just weird. Of course, I'm the one using a fucking avatar to talk to people. And it's not even a fucking, like... it's a fucking cat girl. I can't speak about weird, but that's just me personally. I don't find any of this stuff, like, hot. So, don't watch the movie. I made a mistake. At least I watched it in German. It made it 3 times better, but I still gave it a 1. It's disgusting. Maybe because I was watching it in German, or probably because I already heard all the bad things about it. I wasn't as affected as I should have been. But, you know, it's gross. Don't watch it. It's disgusting. If you enjoyed, feel free to let me know. Do whatever you want to do. And I'm just gonna do self-plugging right now. If you've watched this far and you want to go view my band, it is ICL. YouTube is ICL official, and then Instagram it's ICL official. Yeah, that. Yeah, I'm the lead singer and bassist. So, without further ado, that was Cuties. It's disgusting. And I hope I gave more insight to what exactly happens instead of just saying it's disgusting. And watch it in German if you're gonna watch it, because it's actually kind of funny. Yeah. Have a good day.